Well, the frost has well and truly returned to Elon Musk's relationship with Donald Trump after the Tesla boss launched his political party, the America Party, over the weekend. Donald Trump was just asked about this morning. Watch.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Joining us now is the political analyst Joe Siracusa. Joe, good morning. Donald Trump's right. Third parties never work, right?
Good morning, Pete. Well, third parties can put an awful lot of pressure on some of the candidates. Sometimes it tips things, as it did with Ronald Reagan, actually, and George H.W. Bush. But look, the idea of Musk threatening a third party because he's been shut out of Washington and fallen out with Donald Trump is pretty close to ridiculous itself. I mean, it's absurd. You know, apparently Elon doesn't know how to lose, Pete. Within minutes or an hour of the president saying what he said, Tesla's stock fell 7%. And later in the day, Musk reported that Tesla fell off 14% in terms of delivery for the second quarter. So, you know, these things take body hits. And I don't know what he's trying to do right now. It looks like not just a bromance, but it looks like a divorce that's really gone bad.
Yeah. But look, I'm reading Walter Isaacson's book on Elon at the moment. And look, Elon is a genius. He's a man for the ages. You know, with the work that he's done and all the companies that he's been associated with up until this point, up until Tesla, he's got Neuralink going, he's got X, he's got SpaceX, he's got a whole lot of things on the go, but he just can't leave the politics aside at the moment. And what do you put that down to? Is the fact that he doesn't lose? Is that he just can't help himself? He's got to keep going.
Well, pretty much so. But look, he lives by the law of physics. You know, he likes a scientific approach to things. Politics in America, Pete, as you know from your time covering it, ain't got nothing to do with physics or science. It's about emotions and things like that. And Elon has sort of a deficit there, trying to understand what moves American politics. Donald Trump is a phenomenon. You know, it's been 10 years since he came down that escalator, and he's transformed American politics. Musk doesn't understand what's happened or who supports him. This idea that you can attack the president and his party because they're looking a little too good with this last bill that came out, is sort of suicidal. So, you know, it isn't the first time that a businessman has proved to be too naive for politics. American politics is filled with these kinds of cases.
Look, I mean, and Trump's not helping himself. Well, he can't help himself, rather, by going again. He's just posted on Truth Social. You might not be aware of this, Joe, but he says, "I'm saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. The system seems not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos." I mean, he's got this lengthy rant here about, you know, EVs and the EV mandate, and just he's just absolutely lashes Elon. So, I mean, there's an indication too that while Elon can't leave it alone, Donald Trump can't leave it alone as well. Would he be worried, do you think, at all about a third party?
No, I mean, Elon's worried that America's going to go bankrupt before he can get to Mars. I mean, he's 50 years ahead.
But he does
50 years ahead of
in his defence, though. I mean, he talked about this last week when we were talking about the passage of the big beautiful bill. You know, what's the point of a debt ceiling if you just keep on raising it?
Well, because, you know, Trump really doesn't care. Trump is about the short term. He's 79 years old. He's got one term to go, that is. He's got about 3 years left, and he's just rolling the dice every day. Elon's thinking much further ahead. He's thinking about space exploration, electric cars, and things like that. But you know, he's just not thinking very far. But look, on this July 4th weekend, Pete, we've got to say something about Joey Chestnut.
Oh, yeah.
He won the Coney Island hot dog contest yesterday, with eating 70.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes with the bun. I mean, that's enough. I followed this guy's career because he holds all these food records in America.
Well, they don't even chew. He doesn't even chew. And they wet the bread, apparently, so it's easier to digest.
Yeah, he said he was going slow at first because the buns seemed a little bigger than usual. I'll bet they did.
70
look, we laugh about these hot dogs, but the man has eaten 12 pounds of artichokes in 10 minutes too. I mean, he's got records that would just boggle the mind.
Oh,
but
man.
look, I like Elon Musk. He's a genius. He just ain't much for politics, and I wish him well. But I'll tell you what, when the richest man in the world wants to pick a fight with the most powerful man in the world, it's not hard to see where the money's going to go.
Yeah, that's right. And we're seeing that play out in real time. Thanks, Joe. Good to see you. We'll talk to you again soon.